I was wondering if I could video you and just talk to you. Yeah?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay, so let's go over here so we're out of
How
it.
about we go somewhere where not everybody's watching?
Sure, that's a good idea.
Better that way. Maybe
Where should we go?
Like, just down here.
Sure.
This is better. I don't usually tell a lot of people my story.
Okay.
Just because it's, people don't realize that it's happening in their own backyards.
Yes. I was away for a while, and I come back to Calgary like 11 years later, and there's quite a big difference on the streets, I find, hey?
I'd say even between now and 3 years ago, the city was in a complete...
Right here?
360
Are we
degree.
going to keep going?
We can go right here.
Sure. So you see, it's very, very amateurish. I don't have a mic, so I'm going to kind of step in a little close, not too close.
No worries.
And we have to talk loud.
Okay? Do you want me to like kneel, stand?
Maybe I should buy some mics one day.
Do it when you're ready. Your channel's gonna blow up. I feel it.
You think? In the sun?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, let's do that.
That's a good idea. Do you talk to people who are like living rough or?
Yeah, I do. It started when I went to the store when I came back in the middle of winter last year, and there was 4 or 5 people out, and I guess that's just kind of all how it started. And it was like 5 in the morning. It was minus 25, and I was so curious. Let me squat down. Oh. All right. I'm not slim like you. So anyway, I'm Janice. My channel's called The Friendly Talker.
I'm Natalia.
How you doing, Natalia?
I live in Calgary. And how am I doing?
What's going on with you?
Pretty much stuck in like a constant, it feels like I feel trapped almost. I feel like no matter what I do, I'll always be stuck.
Okay, I'm going to totally interrupt you because I'm going to sit down. This squatting ain't working for me. I'll fall over. Okay. Hopefully we won't get run over. Oh, that's better. How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24. How long have you been
out on the street?
Yeah. Are you totally homeless?
Yeah, I'm totally homeless. Except for when I'm being made to work. To sell my body for money. I hardly ever get to keep any of it. So...
Is that how you're sustaining living out? Like, that's how you're getting your money?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's totally... I have a degree in social work.
Where do you stay? Do you stay anywhere now that it's cold out and stuff?
No. I found like a garage that was just being built last night and nobody was living in the house yet. So I slept there. Sometimes I'll sleep in porta potties. Sometimes I'll purposely get myself locked in the mall. Like I'll hide and then I'll sleep there.
Can you do that? Does it work?
I mean, not always.
No. Shit.
But...
How long have you been on the streets then?
So 3 years. I have lived with friends here and there, and I've tried to go get help for being trafficked. But every time I do actually go get help, I end up being found again and re-kidnapped, retaken, however you want to put it.
Anybody I know?
I think it started when I was young. I grew up in the system. And I think
What does that mean?
In foster care.
Okay.
My mom was hit by a car and she got schizophrenia as a result. And I think that one of my foster parents knew what an asset I could be to somebody else because I have no parents that would worry about me if I went missing. So literally, if I just disappeared one day...
Is there someone behind you? Okay, yeah.
Nobody would know. Somebody had to tell them that. Because I grew up in far northwest Calgary, which is a very nice neighborhood. It was a gated community called Upper Lake. And there's no reason that I should have seemed like vulnerable or the perfect one to grab, I shouldn't have been.
Are you an addict?
Now I am because I'm terrified to fall asleep.
So what's your vice? What do you do?
Meth.
You do meth? You've been doing that for a long time, or?
I picked it up mostly recently because my life is threatened on a daily basis, and I don't feel safe enough to fall asleep because I don't have a home. I'm not on it now because it's daytime.
No, I know. Yeah, I can tell.
But yeah, at night.
Do you drink?
I will be tonight. No, I don't drink. I smoke cigarettes and I love my weed.
Yeah, I like my weed too, not gonna lie. That's for sure.
Basically, I'm just a product of a system that fails pretty much all of us that are in it. And it sucks. I'd like to think I'm a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I must have done something real shitty in my past life because I just have been dealt a really shitty hand of
Generational
cards.
karma, they call it that sometimes,
Yeah,
you know.
I believe in that fully.
I do too. I believe in certain things like that for sure.
Or even in your bloodline, somebody did something.
And then it comes down to choices. You know, I've made some. I'm not lecturing you. I'm talking about myself when I start going on. You know, and
even I know that.
You know,
myself.
like I made some pretty shitty choices for sure. You know,
I could have easily chosen to chill with a different crowd. I liked to be around people who lived dangerously, you know, took risks. But unfortunately, something somewhere along the line, somebody sought out my vulnerabilities and exploited them. And now I'm here.
Do you know? Are you bound to that somebody? Like, is it like a boyfriend too?
No,
No.
I can't leave. It's like a corporation, honestly.
Of trafficking women?
Yeah, and men, boys.
And boys?
It's like I don't even want to say, it's not even like a gang because that doesn't even put enough, it doesn't describe it well enough. It's so organized and so, everything just works together too well. So well that a lot of people disagree with this, but a lot of people don't. I 100%, I know that some of the cops are involved as well. They've turned blind eyes, you know, probably take some money to just look the other way.
So who's running such a ring?
And if I knew, there wouldn't be one. I would be willing to risk it all. There are children involved.
What do the social services say when you tell them this, or when you go seeking help? The police, social services, or whatnot.
I'm often told that I have psychosis.
Okay.
Or that I'm a schizophrenic.
That you're delusional.
That I'm delusional.
Oh.
I'm fully sane. I know I'm sane.
Right.
I'm pretty intelligent too. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm not dumb.
Have you children?
No. It was my biggest dream to have kids one day. But then this started happening, and I'm terrified to bring a child into this world, knowing that even if you don't do anything wrong, your life could be a disaster. Even if you had no say in the matter,
What's your heritage with all that silver now? Your rings really caught my attention and everything about you.
I'm Polish, 100% Polish. I just like my rings. I like my rocks.
Yeah, you do.
Because there's so much negativity in the world, these rocks kind of balance out that negativity. I think I'm an empath. I know I'm an empath, so I pick up a lot of energy.
Yeah, you have that bohemian, spiritual could be laid back kind of woman.
Thank you. That's honestly
Yeah.
such a compliment.
Yeah. I see the guys on the street too, and of course I feel more helpless when I see females on the street. It's scary, you
And
know.
there's, what's even worse though, is that there's way less out there for us.
In terms of support.
Yeah. I don't stay at the shelter. I refuse to because it's all men. Not that men are the devil by any means, but
But if they are diagnosing you as, you know...
Well, I haven't been diagnosed with that.
Oh, I thought the social workers were saying you're delusional or you're psychosis. So what I'm trying to get at is you could get support, could you not, if you wanted? Couldn't you get subsidized and
I could get AISH because I have severe PTSD.
Right.
I've got a lot of diagnoses just because of the system.
Do you seek that kind of financial help? I find sometimes people are proud, but I mean,
absolutely. Like, I would love to get on AISH and stuff, but I just don't think that would put an end to this. I don't. I think that in order for this to stop, I'm gonna have to get out of Canada. Like, I don't see a way out of this. Even if I had an apartment. You know? Like, I'm a liability now in their eyes. I know.
That's not good to be living in that state of fear all the time.
I'm constantly in a state of fear.
Brought on by some men who are living off their veils is pretty much what that's called.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Did you know that the average person who's trafficked brings in $275,000 on an annual basis? So that means whoever is at the top trafficking me is getting $275,000 from me every year.
So, are you on the curb when you work? Like, I mean, listen, like...
I post ads.
You post ads.
Sometimes I have a quota, and like, sometimes if I'm not getting enough money or whatever, then I will. It's dangerous.
Where are you posting the ads? On the internet?
Yeah.
Like on what? Kijiji?
No, there are things
I have
like
no idea.
List.
Yes, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because what I was going to say is, like, you know, I've been around and I've known a lot of people in my life, and you know, from strippers to, you know, because when you bartend you meet a lot of different kind of people, and escorts, you know, and those days of being, for lack of a better term, pimped or trafficked, you can be pretty independent. Actually, I know some girls that really making some serious money. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, it's no joke.
And that's where the difference between exploitation and trafficking is.
Right.
I'm not being exploited, I'm being trafficked. I never wanted this for myself. I would have never chosen this for myself. In fact, like I said, I have a degree in social work. Like, I never... Yeah, no. And that's why, and that's another thing I still can't wrap my head around, is there's no shortage of women that will do it.
No.
Willingly. So,
No.
I mean, you know.
It's true. Of all ages, you know.
I've seen all ages.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
It's bothersome when they're minors. Then it becomes like what you say, trafficking, and that's a very, very serious and different kind of organizational ring or whatever you want to call these people.
Absolutely.
But small time pimping and stuff, well.
Oh, this isn't small time stuff. There are legitimate farms.
What do you mean by farms? What do you mean?
They're called, like, some people call them funny farms, girl farms. Just from here to Surrey, there's tons. They live there, and they're pretty much slaves. They do the work around the farm, and they work out of the farmhouse that they live in. And all the money goes literally straight to their pimp.
Are you from
whoever.
BC?
No, I'm from Ontario.
Oh, okay. When you said Surrey, because I lived in BC for a long time, and
Yeah,
I thought you've been back and forth.
Just because I've driven past them and seen them, and I've heard a lot about those ones in specific, and the organization that has me, I guess, but they belong to them. So, but it's happening. Basically, in a nutshell, it's happening in your own backyard.
So what do you see for yourself here? Like, what are you gonna do? If I could do one thing for you, what would you want me to do? Or if you could wish for one thing, like, would it be a home, a roof over your head?
Yeah. That's it.
Because winter's upon us.
And I'm terrified.
Yeah. So what's your day like today? What are you gonna do now? Like,
I'm gonna go to
don't
work.
cry.
And I'm gonna go use some of my money to go eat something, which will then put me behind more. Because if I don't come up with the quota, I'll be black and blue tomorrow. And
Oh, you got me teared up. It's not easy. I feel for you. You have no idea. You know, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, you know, like...
there's no help out there either. This is too organized. There are people that you would never expect to be involved in something like this.
So does that trade go hand in hand with the drug trade? I guess
Absolutely.
it would. Yeah.
All of it does.
Yeah.
In fact, we're told to sell the drugs too, because the customers are usually the Johns.
The Johns are addicts too?
A lot of them are. They like to party. Yeah, a lot of them have a lot of money to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a lot of wild stories from women, you know, like in the profession, you know.
And all that they'll provide for me, so that they can say that I need them and hold it over my head, is my drug of choice, which is meth. Which I'm going to use. Wasn't in this predicament.
How long have you been using? Do you go to that safe injection site over there?
I don't use needles, so no. But I do see a therapist there. And stuff like that. I was just at the STI clinic to make sure I don't have anything, which is a regular occurrence for me.
Where's that? In there?
On the 5th floor.
Oh, I see, okay.
It just sucks. It sucks. One wish it on anyone. To me, like, hell is this. We're already here.
I think there's a lot more to your story.
So much more.
Yeah. Some bitter stuff, eh?
But, to end it on a positive note, every experience you have in life is to help you realize what your purpose is. Because through this, I've realized that my purpose in life is to help kids in the system growing up in foster care.
Yeah, you could even do that on a wider scale because you have a degree in it. I mean,
Yeah,
you really could.
that's really what I always wanted, but now it's like even more, because when I think about it in retrospect, I realize this didn't start just randomly one day in my adulthood. This was probably a plan for a long time. They were just waiting until, you know, maybe I grew up a little more or something. I don't know. But it doesn't make sense how anybody would know anything about my life in that much, you know, detail.
Yeah.
They have to know lots to be able to pull something like that off.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Of course.
I wish nothing but the best for you.
You as well.
You know, and I don't know. I don't even really know what to say. I'm so sad, and you know, like, I'm an empath. I feel you, you know, I really do. And regardless, you know, and you're so young, and you're beautiful, and you're so young, you know.
And I know. This is not what I had planned for 24.
Do you have family here or around
No.
or back east, eh?
They're all in Poland.
Oh, in Poland. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were from Ontario.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, but I'm a first-generation Canadian. My
Oh,
mom
okay.
committed suicide not long ago, and my dad's just
Not available.
thinks he's got better things to do.
Have you brothers and sisters?
I've got one brother.
Where is he?
Refuses to speak to me because he thinks this is a lifestyle I chose for myself.
Oh. Is he in Calgary though?
I wouldn't even know how to reach him if I tried.
Well, I live around here. If you ever see me, I'm a friend to everybody. You can come up to me. I'll give you some more
Absolutely.
smokes here in a second. But really nice meeting you too. Thanks for being so candid and everything and talking to me. You could have told me to, you know, buzz right off. I'm trying not to swear so much on YouTube anymore, so
Yeah,
thanks
that
for not.
demonetization.
Yeah, not that I'm monetized. My channel's small.
You'll get there. I can see it in you.
Thanks so much. So anyway, very, very nice meeting you.
You as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this off now.